name is Cynthia, and right before I got pregnant with my son, I was working at a hospital, and it was required that you do the hepatitis B. And so
to work in hospital?
Yes. And so the infectious control nurse gave me the Hep B vaccine, and in less than an hour I had a fever of 105.7.
You did?
Yes. And it was reported to the CDC, and they said I should never have that vaccine again. It took me 2 days with a really high fever, and then I was fine. And you would think that I would have thought about that when I got pregnant, because I was pregnant right after that, but I didn't. So on the day that he was born, he was vaccinated with the Hep B, and he had this horrible rash all over his entire body for a couple weeks that the doctors couldn't explain. And you would have thought, like, maybe I would have thought about that then. But no, I didn't. So I actually stood in line, because our insurance didn't cover vaccines, to get him vaccinated every 2 months. And the lines were long, like 2-3 hours. And so when he turned 14 months, he had a cold, and we gave him 9 vaccines. He was an early walker-talker, so he was walking at 7 months. Two-word combination at 10 months. And at 14 months, he lost all of his language. He was hospitalized. They thought he had a perforated liver, and he was rushed to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and they had a surgeon there. They were going to do surgery on him. When they did a CAT scan and realized it wasn't a perforated liver, and he had some liver enzyme problem that they couldn't explain, and at the end of 4 days we left the hospital and he had a diagnosis of autism. He had no language, he was headbanging, he was just a completely different child. And I didn't even then I didn't put it together about the vaccines. I just totally trusted. And I went when he was 2.5, and I heard a doctor talk about vaccines, and for the first time I heard the truth. And I was so upset that I had to leave, and I was in the parking lot, and I cried so hard that I sat in the middle of the parking lot, and a woman who I didn't even know came up and sat down with me and cried with me for, it felt like hours. And that's when I first discovered Dr. Wakefield, and that's when I first discovered biomedical treatment of autism. And my kid is 18. He no longer has autism. He was on the cover of the New York Times Magazine and on Good Morning America, and it's been proven.
But why was he on the cover?
Because he's officially recovered.
Oh, I see. Congratulations. Got it.
So
did they let you talk about the vaccine injury when he was on the?
I did. They didn't use any of it, of course, because you know how they are. But so he was in the Dr. Fine Good Outcome study, so it's been proven that he did have autism and he lost his diagnosis. And so a lot of people say he never had it or he still has it, and they want to deny our story, which is that he.
We don't deny your story.
I know, and I thank you for that. And actually, Dr. Wakefield is my son's personal hero, and he's met him several times, and we owe everything to him for fighting for the truth for our family. So, and we are just so grateful for this film, because the other vaccine films were hard to share with families and get them to listen. But this is really about corruption, which somehow people are more willing to listen to first. So I found that families that wouldn't listen to me before would watch this film and think about it, like really think.
What did you, when you said you got the Hep B shot because you worked in a hospital, what did you do in hospital?
I was in HR. I did nothing with patients at all. Like, there was no reason for me really to have it. It was just required. Because of course they like to force you to do everything according to one mandate.
Great big bullies is what they are.
They
you
are
going to find a bus.
And so we have a naturopath, and we don't see regular doctors anymore.
Stay away.
That's right.